Hey, welcome back to JB Breaks Free. I hope you're having a great day, a blessed day, and getting 1% better than yesterday and breaking free from whatever is holding you back and staying cool. It's a scorcher out there today. It's going to be about 90, 91, 92 where I am at in central New York, and I was struggling with the decision of should the girls play in their soccer game tonight. There were some parents kind of complaining and pretty hesitant to do it. I guess the hires up were not canceling as of earlier this morning, but now word has come that the game has been canceled due to heat. And I'm glad that that decision is out of my hands. And I'm happy that the girls will be safe and cool this evening, and so will I. I wanted to talk about Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover, Chapter 5. I've been following along. This is one of the first books that helped me get out of debt completely. And I learned very much from this book. I've been reading some of the passages I've highlighted, and there's quite a bit in this chapter. I think it's awesome. Ignorance and keeping up with the Joneses, and that's two things that I was certainly guilty for. So I'll just read some passages. Take what you want from it. I would recommend the book. It has more details also, and take what you need and leave the rest. It starts off by saying, denial, I don't have a problem. Debt myths, debt is how you become wealthy. And money myths, stories told by the culture, are three major obstacles that keep you from becoming financially fit body of money management and staying power. He goes, the point is we must identify the enemy, the hurdles to winning. To set out a game plan and acknowledge obstacles to that plan would be immature and unrealistic. Those of us who have been knocked around by life know that we must find the problems or obstacles and a way over them, through them, or around them. And I like how he keeps talking about obstacles. As we talked about in the last Stoic episode, the obstacle is the way. The obstacle is fuel for our fire to break through. So that debt obstacle that you have right now, use that as fuel for you to break free. That is the path, the obstacle. And he goes, hurdle number 1, ignorance. No one is born financially smart. The first hurdle is ignorance. He goes, we are taught skills. We weren't just born with this financial knowledge. He goes, we go to school to earn. We earn, and then we have no idea what to do with the money. According to the Census Bureau, the average family in America makes right at $50,000. Even if they never get a raise, the average family will make over $2 million in a working lifetime. And we teach nothing about how to manage this money in most high schools and colleges. We graduate from school, go out into the world, and get a financial master's degree in DUMB, dumb. Do we make a mess of our finances because we aren't intelligent? No. And it's not that we're not intelligent. It's just that we're ignorant of it. We haven't been taught it. During our lifetimes, Americans average $2 million, yet we graduate from high school, college, or even graduate school, and we can't spell financial. That is a bad plan. We have quit teaching personal finance, and we have to start again. Because remember, ignorance doesn't mean dumb. Overcoming ignorance is easy. First, with no shame, admit that you are not a financial expert because you were never taught in school. That was me. Second, finish this book. Third, go on a lifetime quest to learn more about money. You don't have to apply to Harvard or get an MBA with a specialization in finance. You don't have to watch the Financial Channel instead of a great movie. You do need to read something about money at least once a year. That's what I'm doing. And you should occasionally attend a seminar about money. Your actions should show that you care about money by learning something about it. So what actions? Okay, we care about money, right? But are our actions showing that we care about money? I think reading this book, watching this video, and taking the steps that Dave recommends are actions that show we care about money and that we are trying to regain control of our finances and break free from debt. We work at it, we make it a priority, and we seek knowledge. There's a story here. Like all normal couples, this couple says, like all normal couples, we thought we had to have credit cards and build up credit, and the smart thing to do was finance everything. What a huge lie. The first step in our total money makeover was to get our budget together. It certainly helped us get organized with our money, but it was also our desire to live a debt-free lifestyle that allowed us to succeed. Next, We had to work towards saving for an emergency fund and paying off our debts using the debt snowball. Exactly what my family did. And they're also saving for an emergency fund and teaching their kids. And that's what I hope to do. My daughters were asking what I was reading and why I was underlining, and I told them that this was a book that teaches you what to do with your money, how to save money, and what not to do with your money. And I told them that that relieves a lot of stress from your life, and that one day, after we read all the Harry Potters and a couple more years, I'll be reading them this book, and I'll put a few of them on their bookshelf upstairs in their rooms, and they at least won't be ignorant of this, or at least have been exposed to it. Dave says, ignorance is not okay. What you don't know about money will make you broke and keep you broke. Finish this book and read others. So yes, we have figured out we cannot be ignorant about money. And I know for me, once I was shown this stuff, once I was exposed to this stuff, it just a light bulb went off. I just got really excited and I go, oh my God, there's a better way. Hurdle number 2, keeping up with the Joneses. The Joneses can't do math. The second hurdle in this chapter is keeping up with the Joneses. Peer pressure, cultural expectations, reasonable standard of living. I don't care how you say it, we all need to be accepted by our crowd and our families. This need for approval and respect drives us to do some really insane things. One of the paradoxically dumb things we do to destroy our finances by buying garbage we can't afford to try to make ourselves appear wealthy to others. He talks about the book, The Millionaire Next Door. And if you study the habits of the rich and the values of the rich, if you study this book of millionaires, their habits and value systems are not what most people think. It's not big houses. It's not new cars. It's not super nice clothes. Most of the millionaires next door, especially in this book, don't have those things. He found that the typical millionaires live in a middle-class home, drive 2-year-old or older paid-for car, buy blue jeans at Walmart, and in short, the typical millionaire found indefinitely more motivation from the goal of financial security than what friends and family thought. The need for approval and respect from others based on what they owned was virtually non-existent. And that's been a big thing for me. I used to think, oh man, everyone's going to love this house. Everyone's going to love the sports cars I have, the clothes I wear. Nobody cares, and you're just destroying your finances, especially if you can't afford it. It's one thing if you can afford it, but financial security is way more of a flex, and freedom is way more of a flex to your friends, to the neighbors, to the Joneses, and for yourself than stuff that you can't afford, being fake rich, fake secure. Goes down, just talks about a family with like a $93,000 per year income, and they have a $400,000 home that they own $390,000 on. They have two $30,000 fleece cars, $52,000 in credit card debt, $25,000 on student loans, $2,000 in savings, and $18,000 in their 401k. Behind the perfect hair, the French manicure, there was deep desperation, a sense of futility, an unraveling marriage, and disgust with themselves. The difference with Bob and Sarah is they have a dirty little secret. The secret is that they are nowhere as cool as they appear. They are broken, desperate, and no one knows it. He talks a lot about being in financial shape and also in physical shape. He makes that correlation. And with physical shape, it's not a secret, right? You can kind of tell if someone is not in great physical shape. But you can't really tell if someone is not in financial shape. Just like if people look at me, they don't really see me in amazing financial shape. I'm a waiter. I wear basic t-shirts and I cut my own hair and I drive a paid off car, and it is what it is. And there's people at the bar at the restaurant talking about $60,000 this and how much you make a year, and some certainly make more, but they probably not even thinking of me, who I could be in that conversation. I'm secure, but no one knows, and the same thing the opposite way. People at that bar could have $45,000 cars, just built a new house, and this and that, and student loans, and so there's definitely a thing between looking and actually being secure. And he goes, When you buy a big pile of stuff with no money and lots of debt, you are a financial fake. He goes, it takes courage to break out of that. We like approval, we like respect, and to say otherwise is another form of denial. To wish for the admiration of others is normal. The problem is that this admiration can become a drug. Many of you are addicted to this drug, and this destruction to your wealth and financial well-being caused by your addiction is huge. There's another family that tells their story. They go, I read the foreword to this book aloud to my husband as we drove home. 4 hours later, my voice was hoarse and tired, but we were still reading as the family minivan pulled into the driveway. We were hooked and energized. I felt like our whole world had just been lit up. Same here. Once I found this, I was like discovering the key to life. I mean, it was a life hack, and I was lit up, and I never stopped. We made a budget. It took hours, but afterwards we were ready to attack our debt. We set a goal to pay everything off, as quickly as possible. We had car payments, credit card payments, and then there had never been a time when they were debt-free. But with our new plan in place, we went crazy and never looked back. We cut up our cards one by one as we paid them off. Yes, I did that. More important, we got on the same page with money. Yes, I did that. I would recommend that. You got to be on the same page with your partner, which is something we never thought possible. And once we were on the same page, then our powers combined and we decided to live on one income, and it just brought so much peace and love to our marriage. In 10 months, we paid off $58,000 of debt and put $18,000 towards our fully funded emergency fund. We are now teaching our 3 boys to save their money and make smart decisions with it, and I am so looking forward to teaching our girls. Not only are we more confident about our financial futures today, but we are more excited about it than any other time in our lives. Words can't describe the burden that has been lifted from our hearts and our minds. And that sentence alone gives me goosebumps. Words can't describe the burden that has been lifted from our hearts and our minds. And being debt-free, if you are, you know that feeling. I remember when I first became totally debt-free and we paid off the mortgage, and then it was kind of like, okay, what's the next day have in store? And, you go on autopilot and you start saving some money. But then the month after month where we're saving money and where we can spend guilt-free on certain things, and you're a little less stressed at your job and there's more openings, and just the burden and stress that lifts off you is priceless. He talks about weak spots. It could be a car, it could be a boat, maybe giving to your grown children. Mine is collecting stuff. Everybody has a weak spot as far as not keeping up with the Joneses and actually saving the money using the money that you're saving in a responsible way. He goes, the Bible states, godliness with contentment is great gain. And he says, still know where your Achilles heel is and still see that weak spot as a fatal wound if it were to be allowed to grow again. And I still see my weak spot. Trust me, it's collecting stuff and buying stuff I don't need to impress others I don't like, and to think it makes me happy, and I know that it won't. And I've said before on this channel, it's easy in good times to not buckle down with your money as hard as you can, but boy, when something happens, that really reinvigorates your motivation. Try not to lose that motivation. Another family talks about establishing a budget was a priority, but first we had to overcome the mindset that we needed stuff to be happy. And man, once you get over that, life is a whole different ballgame. The change has been amazing. My wife no longer feels guilty for spending money on much needed clothes, and I need to get some clothes right now. I can relax when it comes to paying bills at the end of the month, knowing there's still money in the checking account and left over. And man, what a feeling. And then he talks about the obstacle again. Past the obstacle course and up the mountain. So everything that he had talked about in the previous chapter, that's all the obstacle course. The money myth, the debt myth, the denial, the ignorance, and keeping up with the Joneses. That's the obstacle course. If we can get through all that, now we are ready to climb the mountain to become debt-free. And he's going to outline that, I believe, in his baby steps in the next chapter. But he finishes off this chapter by saying, have you realized by now that the start of your total money makeover is almost an obstacle course? We busted through denial. We waded through and climbed over debt myths. We carefully scaled the wall of money myths. We are working through ignorance, and we have learned not to place so much emphasis on our competition on the course. We have permanently quit keeping up with the Joneses because the Joneses are broke. The obstacle course, however, was only part of the journey. Now we stand at the bottom of the mountain with a clear view of the top. We are in better shape now for mountain climbing, and there are no blind spots. We are ready to climb. The goal is far off, but we can see it clearly now. And he goes, take a look back before we start. The climb will be hard. It will be near impossible if you're still struggling with the obstacles. If you still think credit cards are good, if you're still folding to peer pressure, the mountain is doable, but not if you're bogged down by the obstacle course. Some things I'll tell you to do won't work and will cause damage if you're still clinging on to denial, myths, ignorance, or approval. All four of those things: denial, myths, ignorance, or approval. Break free from those four things. Then he goes, why not climb? The 12-steppers have it right when they say continuing to do the same thing over and over and expecting something different is the definition of insanity. What you have falsely believed and acted on has brought you to the place you are today with your money. If you want to be in a different place, you must believe and do differently. If you want a smaller waist size than 52 inches, I must eat and exercise differently. It will be painful, but it will be worth it. He goes, I've been to the top of the total money makeover mountain. I've led countless others there. I say it's worth the effort, and I agree with him. So lace up your shoes and resolve. Wave goodbye to your normal friends, and let's climb. And my friends, let's break free. I hope this knowledge helps you on your financial journey, and apply this knowledge to other areas of your life also. And I will see you on the next video.